It's another week of eShop deals and we still have over 1,000 games on offer right now, and in this video today, it's games under $10 or your local currency covering the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia. Now admittedly this week took a little bit more digging to get to the good stuff, but I still have 15 great options for you all. My name's Alex, this is SwitchCorner, and if you do enjoy the video today, consider subscribing. We are pushing for 60,000 subscribers, so each and every one of you makes a huge difference. I also then have a winner to announce later in the video for a $10 eShop gift card and one more to give away. To enter, drop a comment down below. Let's start with Earthlock. It's a game inspired by the JRPGs of the 90s featuring a huge amount of turn-based combat, and while it initially had some issues at launch due to underdeveloped ideas, the developers have put in tons of effort to bring it up to par. Now if you're not a fan of the genre or the old school vibe, Earthlock may not be for you. However, for those who appreciate these elements, it is going to be well worth a look. I particularly personally like the 6 playable characters. Your mission here to save a man's uncle from a cult. It's a new low price, 85% off, and in my opinion, that is a steal. If you haven't heard of Monomals, do not worry, it wasn't on many radars at launch, but it's as unique as they come. Now picture this, a DJ competition between a cast of vibrant animals, each needing to capture a musical fish to compose their beats. Now it is weird, I admit, but this game basically morphs into an adventure platformer where you navigate underwater locations that pack puzzles and enemies. Where it really shines though is the music that you can create. It's got a surprisingly comprehensive music composition tool. You can even broadcast these songs online, but I can't imagine there's an active community for this Switch build. 50% off then matches the low price. Final Vendetta may be a good option for beat-em-up fans, but it comes with a warning. In my opinion, it is a bit tougher than most games out there, primarily because the enemies can be brutal and it lacks modern additions such as unlimited continues. You die, it's going to be all the way back to the beginning. It also has a few weak design elements such as objects that fall down and basically crush you. They are nearly impossible to avoid and they cause instant death. It becomes a little bit trial and error. Now that being said, I still really enjoyed it. The world is unique, the big chunky sprites look fantastic, and the 3 playable characters have varied skill sets. The story then revolves around rescuing our sister, and once you get that first completion, you can look forward to 3 difficulty options and 3 additional modes. That's going to be survival, versus, and boss rush. It's 60% off and matching the low price, and my review is in the pinned comments. AI the Somnium Files is back matching the low price with 80% off. Now it's also worth noting that the sequel is on sale too. I'll be featuring that this weekend. But speaking about this game, it truly is unique. It mixes elements of detective and mystery, visual and novel, and then it adds a sci-fi spin, and I can't name another game quite like it. I would suggest watching a full review as there's more than meets the eye here, but I promise you this, it will be hard to find any negative comments. The game's storyline, it's all about a murderer on the loose, and it's up to you to uncover the truth and basically delve deep into the grisly details of their deeds. I know I mentioned visual and novel as well. Yes, there is a lot of story, but it's not just reading, it's actually quite involved for the genre. Just a quick self-plug and update, I'm sure many of you would have seen last week we changed PlayStation Corner to XPCorner, which will now be covering basically everything but Switch. We were also due to have the website launched today, but unfortunately messed up the domain element, so that is now being finalized and it will be live this coming Saturday. It's taken a little while to build out, so I do hope you can take the time to check it out. The support would be seriously appreciated as we want to move into more previews of upcoming games as well as the new release reviews. Pixel Drunk Monsters 2 is a game I absolutely love, but I think it's also one where you really need to kind of experience it firsthand to truly appreciate it. Now the good news is it has a free demo on the eShop, so if you're on the fence, try it before you buy it. It's a tower defense game and you assume the role of the Tiki Man, constructing towers to protect your hut and the local chibis from the onslaught of monster hordes. It also supports local and online play for up to 4 players, and it's 85% off, which matches the low price, and I do think this game is a bit of a hidden gem. Katana, A Way of the Samurai Story has always been a popular review on my channel. I believe I was one of the few to cover it, and I do feel it should not be overlooked. While it may not have been the Way of the Samurai experience that many, including myself, were expecting, still offers a fun dungeon crawling adventure for the series. The premise is simple. We encounter a man whose daughter has been taken due to his debt, and now he must raise funds to get her back. This will be done through his store that makes and sells weapons. Our role here is to enter these dungeons at night fight and collect material to help him out. Admittedly, the game can feel a bit repetitive at times, but the constant loop of acquiring loot is extremely satisfying. Plus, the combat is solid as well. Then it's 80% off, which matches the low price. Retro City Rampage DX is a love letter to old school Grand Theft Auto, and it's here with 67% off. It's set in an 8-bit open world, and we initially tried to play it clean as a character, but we find ourselves drawn back into the criminal underworld. What follows is a slew of story missions, over-the-top characters, challenges, tons of weapons, and a decent selection of vehicles. The chiptune soundtrack is a winner as well, and it even packs some minigame crossovers with Minecraft, Super Meat Boy, and Bit Trip. My pickups of the week then, I'm grabbing 2 games as always. These are not recommendations, rather maybe you'll want to join me for the ride, and the first game is The Pillars of the Earth. I actually played this on PlayStation, but I'm looking forward to checking it out now in handheld. It's a point and click adventure game, a genre I love, and it's set around the book of the same name, where we can now impact the outcome, and yeah, basically we're out to build a cathedral in a time of poverty and war so we can claim wealth and security. It's 12th century England, which is a really unique setting, and then it's a massive 90% off. We actually saw this price a couple of weeks ago for the first time ever, but I missed it, so I'm happy to see it back. Then I'm grabbing Nuclear Blaze. I meant to grab this at launch, but it slipped by me, and now it turns out I'm happy about it because it seems to have discounted extremely quickly. It is here with 35% off, a new low price, and it's an action platformer where we play as a firefighter dropped into a mysterious burning facility. Should you find it too difficult as well, there is a mode that dials down the challenge, which is nice to see they actually advertise this spin as kid-friendly. Hopefully it's better than Fire Girl, which really disappointed. Ori and the Blind Forest is just a quick mention then. It's a masterpiece, it's 50% off, one of the very best Metroidvanias on the system that I do urge everyone to play. The sequel should be played too. The reason for keeping it brief today is we've seen it half this price a few times this year, but maybe you want a gem for your collection and you don't mind spending a little extra. You really wouldn't regret paying full price for this one. It is that good, and it looks stunning on the system as well. Our winner of the week then is going to Eddie Smile, who is nearly done with Nexaman, a game I really enjoyed, and now is moving on to Coromon, which may honestly be even better. Congrats, drop me an email to claim your code, and everyone else, drop a comment down below for your chance in next Thursday's video. Shiren the Wanderer, the Tower of Fortune and the Dice of Fate is a hell of a long title first of all, but it's also 60% off, which matches the low price, and this is another gem of a game. Now I believe a follow-up is coming soon as well, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but it's a classic roguelike experience where you're out to basically conquer this tower, and along the journey expect monsters, traps, treasure, and even some bonus dungeons. I believe it's actually the 5th entry in the series, and it was originally released on the DS, but this version it features bonus content over that variation. Collection of Saga, Final Fantasy Legend gets 50% off, a new low price. Now this is a 30th anniversary bundle that brings the first 3 games in the series together. That's Final Fantasy Legend 1, 2 and 3. Now these are Game Boy games, so you are going to see that in the visuals and the presentation. So basically it's probably made for a very specific audience. I personally like the ports, I think they are solid representations, and there are a few modern additions as well, such as high speed mode, the option to play with the screen vertically, background customization, and a few other pieces. Another quick mention then, as I don't really have a huge amount of time with the series, but all of the Danganronpa entries on the Switch, they get a new low price ranging from $4.49 to $8.99, and that's going to be 1, 2, 3, and S. They are all available to purchase individually. This is a series I personally need to invest more time in, as I've only heard good things, but it has been now living in the backlog for a while. Can't knock these prices though. If you have the time to invest, it's going to be 70% off each of them. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is our final game of the video. It's 90% off, which is a new low price. Now this is a little overlooked in my opinion, but it's part arena brawler, part RPG, as you pick up quests and explore a hub location. The story revolves around travelling through time and fixing stories that a scientist has changed, and basically, to my knowledge, these are classic battles from the anime that you must dive into. It has shortcomings, tutorials are lacking for example, it can lead to a rough start, but once you get into it and you are sipping all over the place diving into battles, I think it is well worth it. It even has 2-player local and online play. I actually did a video on the best anime games on the Switch this game featured, so I'll be linking that down below. And that's the video down. What will you be adding to the library this week? Let us know in the comments. With that, a shout out to the patrons and the channel members who are going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. Then hit subscribe, join us here for reviews, deals, news and lists daily, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.